Okay, so really quickly, I'm just going to check the work of some of the service page content that was moved over. So the original site is Implant Center of Miami, and basically we were taking the content and just moving it over to a more formatted design. So let's go through some of this stuff really quickly. So this looks good. The heading tag looks good. This looks good. The text looks good. There's a paragraph here. This probably shouldn't be here, so I'm just going to X this out. And this can be avoided by just trying to, not speed through these pages and really taking time. So then you can see that once I X that out, I think that's why, you added a paragraph in here or someone added a paragraph. You can right click on this inner row and you can click design and you can space this information over. So if I put 30, which is generally a good spacing size, it'll actually move down like that. Another option that you can do is inside of widgets, there's actually a spacer button that you can actually take, drag and drop, and you can use this spacer to move things with white so you're not putting text there, only because text will visibly show inside of the editor. So that's one thing that I would recommend you take a look at, or you can just space it in the inner row. So this looks good. This space right here definitely shouldn't be right there. That's too much of a space. You can see that this is actually trying to do a heading. If you just change this to paragraph, it'll make it smaller. So I just want to show you what I did there. So this right here is reading the text size as a heading. If you change this to paragraph, it will make it smaller. And so that's definitely one thing that you want to definitely take into consideration. And then you can see that the same thing was done here. If you just change the text editor to be paragraph, it'll go back to smaller and you can backspace it. So there's not just a bunch of random space there. And then this looks good. This looks wonderful. That block of text looks good. And then so this information right here, this information probably shouldn't be all the way at the bottom because this is what I'm guessing a lot of people like from this page because it has so much information. So I might actually just delete this and I might paste this above this section here. So I can click on this row and I can paste, and just keep in mind that when you do paste, it goes above the actual column, so you can see right there. And then you'll just have to space this. Obviously, this doesn't look good. You might want to just move this over a little bit if you can, or at least move this text to match up with the text that's actually showing there like this. And then this looks fine. I just don't like it so close like that, so you can move it over. So that's a good way of doing this really quick. And then obviously, if you wanted this text to not be on top of each other, you can move this column to the right, but you can see how it's stuck inside of that actual column. So what you can do is you can make this row what's called full bleed. And the way that you do that is you can click on design and you can click on full bleed row. And now you have the option to make this a little smaller and move it over. And then basically what full bleed means is you can go to the border. So I can move this over here, and then I can also make sure that these are, as long as they need to be to make sure that they're in one sentence, so they're not stacked on top of each other. But you can see that this one right here is too long anyways, so I might actually just undo that change and just make it back to what it was before, because that's completely fine. So that's one way that you can do it, obviously, to make that just appear a little bit better, is put that to the top, because that's definitely what people want to see on this page. But this looks good overall. And then once again, I just like to double check mobile version, because mobile version definitely is critical. So you have the pricing, you have the form. And once again, I'm just going to check the form. Submission looks good. Okay. Picture of the tooth, affordable temporary teeth. This looks good. Same day temporary teeth. Text looks good. Internally linked before and after. You can see that the change that I made on the inner row did not update. So once again, you can click on this, you can edit design, and you can go ahead and click 30 here, and it'll actually space that down on mobile. Sometimes the changes that you make on mobile won't reflect the desktop version, so it is important to actually do that. And then you can see that all of the information here looks good, the spacing looks good. Once again, this is spaced already. Dental services, contact us, all looks good on this page. So once again, I like to check the forms in the submission, just making sure that the submission information and details are set up, so we can go from there. So with that being said, let's move on to the next page. And this is kind of the stuff that I'm just looking for. So financing was definitely a tough page, because a lot of people, they go to this page. So once again, you kind of have this same type of issue. This space right here should not be there. It should be backed up as much as possible. Okay, and then you should not have a secondary space here. You can actually click back and that'll be good to go. This is paragraph. It should be a heading 5. That text should be a little bit bigger. So that looks good like that. This picture of this lovely lady here smiling, yeah, that works. And once again, we have the same issue where this inner row is stacked on top of each other. So instead of that, I'm just going to go ahead and click Edit Design. I'm going to space this inner row 30 pixels and make it like that. And likely I'm going to have to do that on mobile as well. So another problem that I'm seeing right off the bat is this Contact Us button is going to the home page. This should be going to the Contact Us page. And obviously there's several reasons as to why that should be going like that. I really don't have to explain that. Basically, when people click that, they need to be going to the actual home page. Too much spacing right here, if possible. Just make sure that there's only one space there. And then once again, you can also internally link. There's an opportunity of internally linking here. So, you know, dental financing for patients that requires the financing good option because it's dental care products. Any type of keyword that's related inside of here, like dental insurance. You know, if you're an SEO, you can link that over to the payment options on their website because that's where they mention dental insurance. And then you can go in and kind of go through that. This right here, there's too much space here, so you can move this Contact Us button up. I'm not sure why there's that much space there. You know, you might be able to fix this by actually, you know, setting this up to correct the spacing here. So you might be able to put like -20 or -30, and just making sure that it's a little closer to the top because there's too much space on that form. In the bottom, there's a little space, but that's better than having too much at the top. So who needs dental financing? This is perfect. Okay. This looks good. Contact Us button, once again, needs to be sent to the contact page. This looks good. I really like what you did here about the paradental issues and services. This image right here, you know, always try to use the practices images because you want to make it as custom as possible. And luckily, this dental clinic, they have a lot of good pictures, and that's why we always do a photo shoot. Only because, you know, if you can put an image there, it's going to be a lot more effective than putting a, you know, it's like that. You know, just put a picture of the practice. It's going to look a lot better for several reasons. And if you're editing this page, you know, the image alt text, which is the, you know, the way that this image is described. Alt text enables search engines to recognize image content, so use text that clearly describes the image. For example, if I go to Google search and I type in dental flippers Miami per se, if I were to type this into the Google search result and I go to images, you're going to see that our image is ranking, and the reason for that is because the alt tag is dental flippers. Now also you can see that the search results is ranking, and then that's good to go. So you want to just name this, you know, dental financing company Miami, right? You can name it whatever you want, just make sure that it is filled out. So this looks really good. I like this Montserrat, that's fine. I like this right here. I may just make this orange so it's a little different than what was over there, and you can see how it kind of breaks down the text a little bit. I really like what you guys did here. I really like how this is broken down like that. I might just make this in list icons. That's a way that you can design this a little bit better because the list icons are just going to break them down a lot more. Anytime there's bulleted lists, I always recommend using list icons because it makes it look a lot better. So how I would do that would be I'd go to like dental flippers per se, or wherever there was list icons. I think I did this page with the staff together, cosmetic dentistry. I did dental crowns, and you can see how my use of list icons were used here. And I know it's a lot more work to use this, but it always just makes that page look way better. So if I go to this financing page and I take pretty much the same text that you were using, I can actually just make sure that this text is used with list icons. So I can paste these list icons into here, and then I can basically take, you know, this average here. So in the list icon, let's say I put inside of here braces, and then I just basically put your text inside of there. Okay, so then the next one I can put, let's say, porcelain veneers. So I can just take this information here and I can dump this into this list icon there, porcelain veneers, however you pronounce that, and bold that, and then bold the pricing. Okay, and then I can keep moving on. So composite veneers. Okay, So composite veneers, I can put that inside of here as well. And then I can basically bold that, and I can bold the pricing just like you did. I love that. I love how you bolded the pricing. That's a really good way of going about it. And then I can basically take this, do the same thing, list icon, oops, sorry about that. List icon, bold the actual bulleted points here, bold the actual money here, and now you have this nice looking thing, and I can delete all of this right here. Okay, I could delete this. I could try to delete this. Okay, there we go. I can delete all of this good stuff right here that you did, and then have just a much cleaner way of going about it. You can see how much better that looks. And then I may also consider just making this, you know, an H3 or something like that, and make it just a little bit bigger. But you can also change the font size. So you can change this font size to like 24 so it sticks into one thing. But sometimes I like making it big enough so it fits the whole thing, but it doesn't overlap on itself, if that makes sense. See, this right here is overlapping itself. So I don't want that. I want to actually just make this a 28 or something, and there you go. So now you have a much better use of it, and you can even pull this down like this, and I would just make this, you know, how it was before, which was an H5, I think. Okay, that's just messing it up. I'm just going to do it over again. There we go. That's fine. We're going to keep it that way. See how much better this looks. Image, content looks formatted really nicely. And then you have read, watch, listen, and learn from your Miami Dental Implants experts. Okay, care credit, green financing, that's fine. Care credit, green financing, I might do the same type of structure like this. So I could take this row and I can basically paste this entire row that I've already set up like this. And instead of doing, you know, how it's set up right here, I can basically take the bulleted points from these each individual pages, so it's not just a bunch of text. So right here, for example, I can do something like care credit, and I can take this information down here. Care credit offers different solutions for patients, right? You can put this inside of your next text navigations as a quick explanation of what this is. So right here, I can just basically say care credit, whatever that copied information is. Care credit offers a different solution for patients, offers a credit card under the issues. You know, here are some of the benefits in using care credit. Okay, and then you can read this information to kind of design this page just a little bit better. So you can say it offers a financial solution for patients, right? So you can actually put this text inside of here, and you can basically put that inside of there. Now, it may be way too big for the list icon. As you can see, it's going to make this a lot more expanded. So you might want to dummy this information down. And you can just say financial solutions, I need to create a credit card. So you can just say, you know, you can break this information down as much as you want. But basically, you know, if you were to go this route, you can. For now, I'm not going to go this route for time's sake, but that might be something that we edit in a later date. And so this looks good. All this information looks good. Now, of course, let's go ahead and check the actual mobile version. So that's good. This review section doesn't need to be here because there's already a review section here. So you can delete this right here by right-clicking row and clicking on delete. And now let's look at the mobile version. So I already know some of the things that are going to be set up on the mobile version that need to be fixed. So form looks good. User intuitive finance calculator. This can be deleted because there's no calculator on this page. So you can delete the row and not just the text. Affordable dental implants can be easy. Use our dental implants calculator to determine. Okay, we're not going to use that once again. So you can right-click this in a row. You can click design and you can click spacing. Once again, you got to add 30 there, so there's a little bit of spacing. Text looks really good. Dental care is good. So you know you can basically internally link some of the stuff here. So like I said, I internally link dental insurance. You can internally link some of the other stuff that's you got going on. Who needs the financing? I noticed that this text right here is a little different than this text. And easiest way to do that is if you highlight the text here and you click on this color tab and you just get the code of the text. So if you click more colors, you can see that the code is 656565. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and check this, and you can see that that code is the same. So if that's not what's making it different, it is the weight of the text. I'm going to explain that in a second here. the weight of the text is basically inside of this font weight. You can see that this text is normal, when this text right here is likely going to be medium. So if you wanted to keep this consistent, you can make this normal and it's going to basically match that text. Super helpful for you to know, just because the consistency of the site is critical here. You want to make sure that there's a very, very big consistency here. So this looks good. Contact us button needs to be linked to contact us. Let's make sure that this one is linked to contact us. Perfect. These look good. This looks good. This information looks good. This looks really nice. I love this. And then you have, this section here. What I might recommend too is, this section's kind of talking about learn from your Dental Miami implant experts. You might be able to go to the widget section and take the blog widget, so all posts. And so what you can do is you can actually drag and drop the posts from the blog right here. So recent posts, and it's going to load all the blog information that's used on the site. Now, the cool thing is if we ever blog for clients, we filter by tag. So because that this is on a dental implants page, we would only show dental implant blogs. So you can see how this is only going to show dental implant blogs, and that's exactly what we want to do. So that you can do to make it look nice. Care Credit, I would make this just a little bit bigger. It's paragraph right now. I might make it an H3 just to make it bigger and a lot more readable. And the same thing with Green Sky Financing. I would just make that a little bit bigger, so as you can see, and I would make it orange so it looks a lot better. And then this space right here on mobile definitely shouldn't be this big. So once again, you can click here and you can just back up this spacing so it's not a ridiculous amount of spacing at the bottom. So this all looks good. This is all templated. The reviews are gone. This page is good to go. So we're going to keep going through some of the pages here just so you can see some of the stuff that we're double checking when it comes to the service page content that you're moving over when redesigning a site. So all this information now looks wonderful. Contact bus buttons are linked, etc. All the form fills are linked, I believe. Hold on. Yep, that's good to go. Submission actions are redirecting to the thank you page. Everything is good on this page. For some reason, it's only showing one. I'm going to tell you the reason for that. If you go to design and you go to visible posts per row, you should be able to see more. I'm not sure why it's only showing one. If that's the case, this is wrong. That's why, because this is all under dental implants, I believe. Yeah, there we go. So now it's showing all of the dental implant related blog posts. I don't like all the blog posts showing up at once. You can change the amount that are showing by the actual visible posts. I would just put like 3, let's say. 3 is a healthy amount. And then if they want to see more, they can go ahead and click show more. So hope that makes sense. Now on this page too, since we're talking about dental implant financing, on this page, there may be some opportunities to embed some type of video content that we're not thinking of here. So if you go to, let's say, Implant Center of Miami, you type in dental implants, videos. If you type that into the Google search, you can see that they have some videos that they've posted on some of the places here. So obviously we want to see some of these videos just to make sure that they're quality.
Hi again, this is Dr. Tatiana.
Okay, I love this video. Dr. Herzog is amazing. So I'm just going to take this video, and instead of putting this wonderful, 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 wonderful stock photo of this lady here, I'm going to actually add this video with dental implants. And keep in mind, you can reuse videos on several pages if you would like. It's just better if it's the actual doctor over stock content. So right here, I can move this up like this, and I can actually have her video here. Now, if there's a newer video, use the newer video, because sometimes they want to make sure that they have that information up and ready to go. So you can actually go to the client's videos, if they have any videos on the YouTube channel, and filter them and basically kind of go and see if there's like a more recent video that she would want to use. So like, this is dental bone graft, alternatives for dentures. I'm really not a fan of these thumbnails, and that's something that our design team can actually change. But I like this. 3 things you need to know before getting a dental implant. Like, this content's really good. Why you should choose us for dental implants. This is really good. That's actually me right there in that video. But anyways, the next thing I want to talk about is if you add a video and you go to the mobile version, you can actually go ahead and make sure that this isn't this long skinny video. Instead, you're going to want to push this up. Okay, so you can see how that's been pushed up, and the video now fits the actual size of the screen. And now you have this wonderful page. So let's keep going on. And since I saw the video of the bone graft, I'm going to go ahead and move over to the bone graft page. So bone grafting is one of the pages on this website. So let's see, get dental plans. Okay, emergency bone grafting. This looks good. Let's go through some of this stuff really quick. You know, one of the things is they now have 2 locations, so I don't like this anymore. We're going to redesign that. But what you can do is if you go to like dental implants, let's say, and you click this information, so this row, and you click copy, and you go back to this bone grafting page, and you click paste. So you right click and you click paste. You can get that design very fast, okay? And then you can delete this design right here. So the offer is free consultation and x-rays. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to replace this offer right here, you know, of this right here. So I'm going to take this and I'm just going to basically move that there so you can see for all emergency visits. And then so, you know, you can have the video here. The video is linked to a pop-up. This pop-up is the dental implants video. We're going to have to change that to the bone graft one. The bone graft one is going to definitely have to be a little different. So bone graft special. And then I believe they charge $850 for a bone graft. Let me just double check that they talk about the price inside of their text content, because that's definitely something that we're going to want to make sure that we have. Special, you know, I'm just going to put free consultation right here, or free x-ray. Okay. And so now you have this that looks a lot better than what we just saw. So this right here, I'm just going to get rid of this. And I might actually put this because people that need bone grafts definitely need, so instead of putting this value here, I might add a third value that just says, you know, we see people on the weekends, which is really important because some dentists don't do that, and it's definitely something that we want to include on the site. So I'm going to get rid of this. I don't like how that looks. Now this looks a lot better. Okay, so now that's there. You just saw how I just copied a templated section from, you know, the site to actually do that. It looks a lot better now. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll. Emergency bone grafting, that looks good. This looks good. This looks really good. Trauma, once again, this space shouldn't be there. It should be back. It should be backed up. There we go. This space, once again, shouldn't be there. Let me see why it's like that. Okay. This text right here is heavy, which is fine. You can keep it heavy. That's completely fine. And then so I might just, instead of this before and after, because this is not a bone graft, I mean, it could be, but this generally is a dental implant. I'm going to take that bone grafting video that she has, which is right here, 3 common questions, and I'm going to drag and drop that video on this page as an embed. So now when I do that, I can actually have content that has to do with bone grafts, and I can make it fit the screen by pushing it to the side. I don't want to overdo it like this because you can see how the thumbnail has exceeded the actual page. Instead, I want to do it like this, right? So it's just starting to expand. This I'm going to delete. What is bone grafting? Okay. And then basically the text looks good. This looks good. One thing that you've got to notice here is these icons aren't matched up to the actual text. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this back so they're matched up, but you don't want it to start stacking up on top of each other. You want it to be that perfect size to where it's like that. So that looks a lot better. Why would you choose bone graft? You know, I would also take the time to, instead of just doing it this way, because it doesn't look good that way, I would instead, you know, take this list icon, and I would take this content that you have in bullets and put them into the list icon. So you can see right here how it says in surgery. And what you can do is you can basically bold that, and then you can basically make sure there's not enough. Okay, that's perfect. Delete the amounts in here, and then inside of this list item, you can take the trauma. So I actually had a bone graft done when I went into Miami. Tatiana did it. It did not hurt at all, which was wonderful, but you can't advertise no pain with dentistry, so we can't say that. But you can see right there, you can move that, and now you have trauma. Once again, I'm just going to make this longer because there is the opportunity to make that longer. And if there's the opportunity to just make it look better, I mean, just take the couple seconds that it takes to make it look better. And my computer is just a little frozen right here. But you can see how I'm putting these inside of list icons rather than just stacking them up on top of each other for just the terms of spacing. I mean, if you were reading a book and you were reading this over this, you're more likely to read this than the information that's on the book, only because, you know, the information is stacked up just way better. So this is just taking a little while to load. I'm not sure why. Let me move it to preview, and you can see that it's still frozen. So sometimes we work too fast for our computers. That's why I like really taking time. I'm going to reload this page, and probably everything that I just did is probably not we're done. So that's not good. But you know, you can reload, refresh the page, and you're good to go. So that all information saved. But you can see right here, I can basically delete this information. I can move this text box, and boom, you have a much nicer designed, you know, text box. You know, it just looks a lot better. How is the new procedure done? You know, this looks good. Spacing's good. Just back up the spacing. There shouldn't be that much spacing there. This looks wonderful. Contact us buttons need to be linked to the contact page. And then, yeah, so making sure that this stuff is linked to the contact page is critical because we don't want it going back to the home page. So that's good. That's good. This looks good. And this looks good. This looks good. Once again, this content right here needs to be deleted because it's the old content, so that shouldn't be there. This looks good. Boom. This page is done. So let's keep going. So let's go over to, let's say, Invisalign. So Invisalign, let's take a look at this page. The offer is $199 a month, $4,500 total, which is a good rate. Straight talk about Invisalign. This looks good. It looks like this page hasn't been done yet. So this page, we would basically drag and drop the template. I mean, this page really doesn't look bad, but if we wanted to keep the consistency through the site, we would want to go in and do that. It looks like you know, don't forget the cat, because it looks like you did optimize these, but don't forget the category pages. So this page right here, what is Invisalign? How does it work? One thing that I see right away is there is a lot of lorem ipsum. So we definitely don't want lorem ipsum. And where's the editor? Oh, here it is. So this looks good. What is Invisalign? Clear retainer. You know, sometimes this consistency, you know, should be done before we start duplicating pages. But some of the stuff you can see, like this information right here, if you noticed on this page, they're all internally linked. So I think it's almost good to have it internally linked like that because of SEO purposes. But you can see how there's just like way too much white space right here. So you may consider, you know, doing one of these, which is kind of rare. Basically, you delete these two, and instead of having the treats information here, you can pull this down to here and create 2 columns, let's say. So you can do 2 columns. And in these columns, you're going to basically just, you're going to basically take this image, copy it, paste it here, and then move this Invisalign treats like this, because you want to have that image. I think it looks good that way, left to right. And you can do this a lot with different stuff. So you don't have to follow the format every single time. You know, you want to definitely do something that makes most sense and get really creative with it. So you can see that, you know, it looks good like this way. I might just move this image down to meet the text, right? Just like that. And then this stuff right here, you should internally link it. So highlight it, click the link button, existing page, and then link it to Overbite, okay? So that looks good. And you can see that it will internally link it just like it was done on the other page. Here, you can link it. You can click Underbite. Okay, so that's good. Third, you can link it, and you can click Crossbite. Okay, here, you can click it, you can link it, and you can click Gap Teeth, because there's already pages created for this content, so we might as well internally link it so visitors can freely flow through the site. Open Bite, that's good to go. Item 6, baby and permanent teeth. Okay, there we go. That's good to go. Number 7, generally straighter teeth. So I can put here generally straighter teeth. That's good to go. And now you can see that all of this information is aligned and you can put something else in the place of this right here. So let's talk about that, right? So on this page, there is, if you have tooth alignments, I think that's right here. But this should be, once again, this should not be a paragraph. It should be an H5. It does make it a little bigger, so it takes up more real estate. And then this content right here, what is Invisalign? Looks like we already did that. How does it work? All the information you can actually put inside of here. So instead of doing it here, you can say, how does Invisalign work? Okay. And then obviously you're going to take text box, you're going to drag and drop text into here, and you can just copy and paste that text that was there. Spacing, can be double. I mean, that's up to you how you want to space the pages. I like the text really having some readability room. A lot of people like the double. And then here, let's see if there's an opportunity for video. So instead of just putting a picture there that we're already using, let's see if we can find anything that has to do with Invisalign on Dr. Herzog's actual information here. So I like these videos. We're going to use those. Implants, okay. Patients, okay. Nothing that I can see here about Invisalign. That is a video that we were going to recommend them to do. But once again, you can use a different picture inside of here. If you type in Invisalign, you can obviously see several different types of pictures that they may have inside of here. So, you can do that. But for this case scenario, if I want to add an image inside of here, I'm just going to go to uploaded, and then I'm just going to potentially go and see if there's anything else that I can do instead of doing that picture. So let's see if I can find a picture that has a really good smile here that may have used Invisalign services from Dr. Herzog. So this definitely looks like an Invisalign patient. But once again, we want to find something that's a little more clear on the actual Invisalign. So this can be an Invisalign scan. Okay, so that looks good, right? And then once again, alt text, Invisalign dentist Miami as the alt text, right? Because we want to make sure that this is showing up, and you can just, check yourself and correct that information in there, if you will. So that looks good. Okay, this picture obviously can be changed. How does Invisalign work? Invisalign treats, all these different things. And then you can obviously, continuing on. So let's see the other content that's on this page. The process. We definitely want to talk about the process. This information can actually, go inside of here. You can basically put in, here is the process for Invisalign, and then you can take this information, the bulleted list here inside of these things here, and you can paste it right above it. And what you can do is you can delete these items. So you can just delete all of them, and then add item. And inside of this list item, you're just gonna basically do the process. Consultation. So you can put that inside of there. What is it? Consultation, scan, dental roadmap, consultation, scanning, dental roadmap, custom creation, aligner series, and follow-up. Okay, so you can put that in there, and honestly, it just makes it look a lot better when it's bulleted this way. So that looks good, and then obviously you can move this image down. So there you go. So now this page looks a lot better than the way we started it. 2 call to actions here. You don't have to have 2 call to actions. This looks really cumbersome. Instead, I would just delete one, and it doesn't matter which one you pick. You can pick whichever one that you want. But this border should definitely be bigger. So let's do that 10. So this can be changed, and really the reason for this is we want to make sure that the content here almost matches and stops at the same time. So having this much information down here could definitely not be as great as it could be. And then making sure that this button, I know they're not connected because we duplicated them even though they weren't connected. We want to make sure that that's connected as much as possible. But even maybe potentially moving this text copy up here. How does Invisalign work? Wait, I think I did that. Oh no, Invisalign treats. Okay, you can move this information up over here and delete this actual information down here. Doesn't need to be there. And then one thing that's stopping us from creating that alignment is this picture's too big. So I might delete this picture, and you can see now that I have this much of a budget inside of my imagery to create that gap. So what I can do is I can try to add a different picture that would probably fit inside of there rather than the other one. So I can put this nice picture of Dr. Herzog, and it's an implant picture, but it fits well. But unfortunately, that's not going to work because we're trying to talk about Invisalign on this page. And you can see her gigantic board says that she's a student of implantology, which is the art of adding dental implants, and she's very, very well at that. There's these stock pictures of Invisalign that you can add, but once again, if you can use the dental practice's specific images, it's going to definitely help us out a lot. So you might be able to use this picture, but once again, it might be too long. Yeah, that's too long. Let's see if we can find something that makes more sense inside of here. And this is why we like doing the photo shoots, because the photo shoots really give us pictures that we can use. In this case scenario, they had pictures, but they could have been a lot better, the pictures, I think. And you can just use this picture of the office. That'll probably do the best. And then you can see it almost matches up. Not quite there, but it almost matches up, which makes it a lot better. So inside of the alt text, you're going to have to change it if you change the images. So Invisalign Dentist, Miami FL. Okay? And there you go. So this page looks a lot better. Now, I'm going to go ahead and delete this page. Or delete this information. So I'm going to delete. Okay. Delete. I like this. Okay. I'm going to delete this. The process we already talked about. We'll leave that though if people want to read more. Reviews we already talked about. Delete that. Pictures are good. Getting started. There's 2 forms here. Notice that. Get rid of this one. And then I really, really like this this coupon. You can keep it here. Just make sure it's linked to the contact page because it's linked to the Invisalign page. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And there you go. So that this video, my goal with this video was kind of to show you how I would edit the site based on the work that was already done, which looked very good. Some areas of opportunity, but you can see that on mobile this has to be moved over, so it's always a good idea to check mobile version. So that looks good. This looks good. This looks good. Once again, should be checked. Looks great. Cool. So then this is pretty much ready to go. This doesn't make sense. So I'm just going to hide this on mobile because I don't know if it would affect desktop. Let's do that. And then good to go. So yeah, that's a basic overview of how I would check the work and kind of go through some of these service pages after they're done, after what you just did on adding these. So I hope you appreciated this video, and I hope it helps you tremendously.